Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube, and Ultraman Trigger is the latest season in the Ultraman franchise that just had its premiere this last weekend. I thought it was a pretty simple but great episode, and if you're interested in watching it, it's actually available to watch for free with English subtitles on YouTube right now on the official Ultraman YouTube channel. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description and the pinned comment if you want to watch the episode yourself and not get spoiled when I talk all about it in today's video. If you find yourself enjoying this video at any point, consider subscribing to the channel, since I'm currently in the middle of working on an Ultraman base form ranking that features Trigger, and soon I'll be taking a look at some Ultraman seasons that you probably don't want to miss. The first thing I want to talk about from Ultraman 2 Tiga 2 Furious is from the very end of it with the fight scene, and not the fight scene itself, I'll get to that later. It's about the little song it plays. I think it's called Trigger. I know it's the theme song of the show. That is a message from a higher being. It is amazing, awesome, epic, whatever you want to say. I love it so much already. Best Ultraman OP, top 10 tokusatsu songs. It's so cool. I love it so much. And besides that, the episode itself was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I liked how simplistic it was, even though it seems like we're gonna have like 200 supporting characters, including a walking hot dog. We didn't actually get introduced to any of those Guts Select members besides the old dude, and I thought that was great because it basically let us focus exclusively on Kengo, our main character, Ultraman Trigger. I think he was fine in this episode, if not a little strange, but I think his quirkiness added to his character. First off, it's kind of funny that he carries around this plant like a baby, like he's even named it like it's his child, and he takes very good care of it like it's his child. But what's awesome to me is it's not a weird quirky thing he does, I have this plant with me. Instead, it's related to his mission and job on this planet. I think that trying to grow life on Mars is a pretty intriguing goal for a Toku protagonist to have, and it even plays a role in this episode by having Kengo becoming Tiga 2 when he's looking for more dirt to expand his knowledge of the Mars biosphere and help more life grow on it. Another strange but decent part of Kengo is his catchphrase, smile, smile. It's just kind of a weird thing to say, like I don't see anyone ever saying that to someone, but at this point I think I'm completely desensitized to weird Toku character catchphrases, especially since again here it plays a part with his character, as he tells his mom, as he tells the villain as well, he just wants to help people to smile, which maybe is a bit generic, but it's literally the catalyst for Trigger reawakening and inserting itself into his hyper key, so that's actually kind of cool. Also, we can assume that this ties into his wishes to make Mars full of plant life, like he wants to make the planet better for people to smile, which means that in a cool way, Kengo's wishes to see people smile using botany combines to help him find the newest Ultraman, and then give us an amazing theme song. So Kengo's pretty good, but honestly what I find more interesting about him in the episode is all the stuff surrounding him. There's this whole thing with the hologram HoloLive VTuber that follows Kengo around and says things, and then she also knows his ex-girlfriend it's Caramel. Caramel obviously has this history with Trigger, and obviously I think we'll see some flashbacks for what that's about, but honestly I think it would be pretty funny if they didn't really try to explain it at all, because right now she comes across as a clingy ex-girlfriend that's mad that Trigger broke up with her, and that kind of makes her 10 times more terrifying. I'm saying that like I know from experience, but I don't. Another great part of Caramel, and presumably the other villains, is that she speaks this alien language. I think it's great when aliens speak an actual alien language, since it breathes a great deal of life into the world, and I think it's really great that the Tsuburaya subtitles pointed this out to me, because I wouldn't have noticed because I'm stupid. Another mystery actually relates to Kengo a lot more, like the vision in the beginning, which presumably is Dark Trigger, and this whole thing with why his hands glow, and then they give him the power of Ultra 7's little star from Jeed. If I had to guess, I think it's something to do with his dad, because his mom doesn't really seem that surprised when he displays these powers, and she even tells him to go back to the ruins, like she knows he can become an Ultraman. And obviously we don't see Kengo's father here, and he's not really mentioned. Further on this point, I say he's Tiga's host's son. I think his name is Daigo, but I don't have any Tiga related evidence to prove this because I have not watched Ultraman Tiga, and this show is literally called New Generation Tiga. So if anyone's wondering why I haven't pointed out any cute little Tiga references, it's because most of them I literally can't tell. Tiga himself did appear in this episode in a brief flashback, and I think that was also cool. It kind of confirmed that Tiga Dyna universe will play a role in the show, so maybe I'll be proven right with the dad. I'm assuming this isn't that universe though, since the man who had the flashback, can you have a flashback, said something about this world having an Ultraman. Now he may be referring to Mars specifically having an Ultraman, since there was a mention of ruins on Earth like the Trigger ruins, so maybe on Earth those are the Tiga ruins, and it would also mean that Trigger is just like a Martian Tiga, which is funny. But I guess we'll just have to see how this whole universe confirmation thing happens. I'm assuming we will get something dealing with the Tiga universe. Whether or not that is this universe we are currently in, we'll just have to see. While I'm talking about this man, he's weird. His first words to Kengo were asking him what he dreams about. And then he proceeded to give him a military grade weapon. And now he's got to find a way to justify why a botanist is on a planetary defense team. He's just kind of crazy to me, but I'm also now going to start introducing myself to people by asking them what they dream about, and if that goes well, then maybe he has the right idea. One thing I did like about this dude is that he showed off the spark lens's ability as a normal gun. I think it's great that the side characters are going to get to play around with some of the toys in the fights, and it's one of my favorite parts of this season aesthetically. I've always thought it's kind of strange how a lot of Ultraman transformation devices are just sticks of nothing, so I'm really digging how the spark lens has this extra functionality of being not only a gun used by Kengo, but also the other characters, and he's just got a special version. I will be severely disappointed if the final form weapon isn't just a big ol' shotgun. The other visuals are great. I think the hyper keys are the best Ultraman gimmicks in a while. They have some great art and fun colors for fun forms. I love that the Tiga trio of multi-power and sky types are being used, and then the dark giants of Tiga are reborn with the villains. Power type is currently my favorite form, but Dargon is my favorite overall suit. The red on him is just hot. But in this episode specifically, the visuals in relation to the fight is awesome. The first fight against Golba, where the camera is just spinning round and round and round, Trigger and his enemy, is super unique. I've never seen a shot executed like this, specifically with how fast the camera was spinning around and how it still has all of these CG effects that look fantastic. That is definitely the standout moment of the episode, but honestly my favorite part was the final fight with Caramel. It just added to her personality, being a clingy ex, but there was also some neat symbolism to me personally, where the muddied Trigger looks a lot like his statue form earlier in the episode. So in a way, this first fight seemingly very nearly reverted him back to his weakened statue form, and thanks to the quick thinking of Kengo and the Bandai sales department, he managed to stop this by equipping his pretty cool sword, allowing him to defeat his first monster and beat back one of his primary foes. Also, he used a Tiga reference with his beam. I actually do know that's a Tiga reference, and it looked really cool. I'm a little disappointed that we're going to Earth next episode, because I think the Mars landscape made for a stunning first episode fight, both a perfect end to this episode and a great beginning for the rest of the season, helped in no small part by the theme song. I'm looking forward to meeting the other Guts Select members next episode and learning more about how this season will go episode to episode, but this episode setup with Kengo is awesome, and I seriously cannot stress how cool the song is. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on Ultraman, I've got part 1 of my ranking of primary bass horns uploaded, and I've got reviews for Orb and Zet on the way. And you don't want to miss those either by becoming a patron or just subscribing to the channel, and I hope to see you next time. Smile, smile. No. Ready to pull the trigger. Do, 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 do.